All right, we're going to unmute everybody here as we get started. I have never ran the meeting from up here before, so we're going to try something new tonight. So hello, everybody. Bear with me 1 second here. This mic here. I hear myself on channel 7 out there, so I think we are good. Janet, come on up here. Neil can scoot over. He'll be all right. I don't really need a microphone. Everybody knows that.
I'm being nice.
Thank you. Yes. All right, there we go. Now we're a wide angle view. There we go. Yep. All right, well, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How's everybody going?
Good.
Good. All right. We will go ahead at 6:04 p.m. Call to order the Pool and Recreation Steering Committee, our first televised non-Zoom meeting of this committee. I will go ahead and start with the roll call. Matt Stamm.
Here.
Chris Evans. Sean Miller.
Here.
Corey Gibson.
Present.
Danny Park. Roger Stewart. Here. Andy Quant. Melissa Fehrenbach. Janet O'Donnell.
Here.
Blake Penninson. Here. I always say that wrong, Blake. I'm sorry. Neil Owens.
Here.
And I am Brent Clark, and I am here. Looking at the agenda, we will go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone can stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving right along on the agenda here. Looking at item number 4. Looking for a motion and a second to approve the agenda as published on the website. Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Neil, seconded by Janet. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, agenda is set. Moving right along to item number 5, the approval of the minutes from the February 16th, 2022 steering committee meeting that we did have in the community building. I do apologize. I have no idea or why we did not have the meeting here to where it was on our YouTube page. I just completely didn't do it. So I do apologize for that. But the minutes are posted on the website as well as in your packet. Any changes or corrections?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second. Motion by Matt, seconded by Roger. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion approves. All right, moving right on to item number 6. As you've seen in the packet, and I'll scroll down here, we did actually receive, I didn't get a chance to update it today, but we did receive the disbursement for April. It was around $62,000, just so kind of give you an idea. So we're still averaging, a lot more than originally projected month to month. We were kind of looking at seeing if that was going to start trending downward, which it is slightly, but if you do look, back in November, was a $62,000 a month. before that in June, July, August, we're in the 50s. So even with the current information that we just recently received, I mean, it's still trending, really nicely, even after all the stimulus dollars were kind of in the economy, and so we're excited to see that continue to trend in our favor. And also, thought it was good to have this also posted on our website. If you go online, or if people ever ask you, hey, what's the sales tax generated? Say, hey, go on the website and look underneath the pool and rec committee meeting agendas, and all that information is right there for the entire public to see. Any questions? All right. Moving right along. Item number 7, new business. Item A, the discussion and review of the request for proposals, the RFPs that we did receive. Actually, we'll roll right into A1 and 2. We'll start with 1 first, and that's the construction services. Is there any more packets back there? I think there might be one up here if you want to grab one. And so thank you for everybody that did submit your RFPs and your score sheets. Did anybody have a problem with that? I know most of us in the room, or most of you, did score them. And so I do appreciate you taking time out of your schedules to do that. Blake, did you have any copies for that? Yep. My lovely assistant, Blake, did little. That's funny. Did pass out the total. And so all I did not have a chance to go line by line, but I did just total up the scores from everybody that did submit proposals. And so I will bring that up here for the folks at home as well. And we'll start with the construction services, the CM overall scores. We did receive 6 proposals. I thought they all were fantastic. Everyone did a really good job with submitting those, and spent a lot of time, it looked like, on them. As you see, Donlinger, Icon Structures, CB Construction, Hutton, McCown Gordon, and Conco were the 6 that submitted. Looking at the scores, no particular order, just from left to right on our screens and on our sheets that were handed out. Do you need a copy, anybody in the public? Donlinger scored 577 total points. Icon Structures were 540 points. CB Construction was 515. Hutton was 600. McCown Gordon was 648. And Conco was 446. So all really good scores on the CM side, and appreciate all 6 of them submitting proposals. Is there any kind of want to open the floor to any comments? Anything that stood out to you all as we kind of decide here in the next item, in item B, once we get there, kind of next steps on how many we want to potentially bring in for interviews, kind of what the committee's desires are for next steps, but did want to kind of pause a moment and see if there were any comments or suggestions. I do have the proposals here in hard copy if anybody needs to take a look again or gander. Anybody? Crickets? Oh, crickets.
No, I think you receive some great options. Sometimes going through these processes, you don't always receive a ton of options, and this was nice to see. I think the differential for many of us probably was experiences they've had doing similar projects. All are great, reputable companies. So it's just the experiences that are similar to this that might have been the difference in the scores for many of us.
Thank you, Corey.
I just say I've worked with most of these companies on here, except say one, and they're all really great companies. We're going to make a bad decision picking any of them.
Now, Sean, remind me. You did fill out the CM
I filled out the
RFP,
CM,
and then once we get to the AE, we'll
Yeah.
kind of maybe have you,
right
talk about
sure.
why you abstained from doing
Sure.
that one, but you did score the CM or the construction manager one. And we did receive 7 We didn't receive 4 from the committee, just so you know. That's kind of, you'll see the score, kind of the difference substantially in the AE, just because we didn't have as many people scoring. Any comments? All right. Well, then we'll move right along to the next one under new item 7A2, which is the architect engineer services. I will pull that up. We had a fantastic 5 group. As you probably noticed, some of you that were involved in our first go at it when we went after the sales tax, you probably did see the some of the same firms that did submit again. Sean, I'll probably have you chit chat real quick on you did not fill out one. I want to be fully transparent to everybody.
Sure. The reason is, my firm is actually part of, I think, 3 of these as the engineer on them. And so, and I work with all these firms, so I'm not going to spoil it. I can give a little bit of an opinion, but
so you can really answer some questions if the committee has
I don't know
it.
if I want to do that on TV.
But no, we appreciate your transparency and for letting me know that, and thanks for letting me put you on the spot, even though you probably didn't have a choice. All right. Moving right along. So as you've seen on the 5 that we did receive, the SJCF scored 514.5. LK Architecture scored 510.5 points. SFS Architecture scored 470.5. Alloy scored 455. And Haney, is it Haney and Associates? Scored 487 total overall points between the score sheets that I did receive, the 6 total from the committee. I also do not score any of these, since I do compile all the numbers and I do the scores same as the last go around when we did it in 2020. I do not score any myself, since I do compile all the information and total scores. Never want to have anybody think that I sway numbers one way or the other. So just so everyone in the public knows that we do take that serious. Questions, comments on the AE services? We've got a lot of good options.
Numbers were definitely a little tighter on this one too.
Mm-hmm. And now I probably didn't state or articulate clearly, but we have not opened any of the fee proposals. I have no idea what those fee proposals are. They're still sealed envelopes in my desk. And so once we kind of come up with the firms that we want to interview, I felt once we actually interview them, after the interviews, we'll actually open them here live on TV and know what the fees are at that time. So I didn't want that to be the major indicator or factor going into how we scored the proposals. Since a project this magnitude and size can kind of take on a different shape and fee structure when it comes to these types of firms and type of projects. I'm sure, Sean, you can attest to that. So we kind of wanted to keep that anonymous for as long as possible.
I did find it interesting that in some of the timelines, how they vary quite a bit. From, I think the earliest one was the end of 23, and then one of the latest ones was the very end of 2024. So, I don't know how all that works into our scheme of things, but it made a interesting point of view in my head that, well, do I want this company? Because if they say end of 2024, it may be summer 25. So that type of thing. So that was kind of interesting, and that did sway some of my numbers.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, but it could sway all of them with materials. I mean, we're at the
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have the one that says, okay, I'm going to be done by early 24 than the one that says at the end of 24. if everything's pushed back. So, it's apples.
Mhm. Roll the dice.
And of course, with those timelines, once we get both entities
Sure.
on board,
It'll be a little,
really
little clearer. I understand
kind
that.
of firm it up, and that's probably, bless you, probably kind of their guesstimate,
Sure.
educated guess on kind of their workload potential.
And they might do a under promise and over deliver too.
Absolutely. Just like our sales tax revenue coming in. Is that what you meant there, Matt?
Yes.
Well done. Well played. All right. Anything else? Otherwise, I'll move right along. All right. Moving on to new business 7B, the discussion and potential action on the next steps with the RFPs. If you recall, and I did have this in the packet that is on the website as well. If you look at our schedule, we're right on time. Look at that, just perfectly executed amongst everybody. So I really do appreciate the committee's willingness to be able to meet this week of April 25th. And so looking at, however many you all want when it comes to the firm interviews with the committee sometime the week of May 9th. Now, do remember that there's a lot of resources that go in from each firm when it comes to expenses of coming in and interviewing and preparing all those things with the committee. And so this go around, we wanted to have, the firms interview with the committee. I think that, if we really, kind of buckle down, I think we can get, my personal opinion, I think we can get both of them done in one night. I think if, the committee wants to, select either a, top 3 from each one or a top 4, it's really up to you all and maybe interview them. We can score them during those interviews and then pass on kind of the top, maybe 2 to council and then have the council pick from, kind of the scoring sheets that we prepare during the interviews and then based upon their own decision. So that's kind of what I had laid out in my head with talking with between Blake, Neil, and Dr. Gibson, of course, with kind of how the city and the school and the rec, kind of how we are partnering with the 3-headed monster of this project. So I shouldn't say monster, 3 entities. But so kind of that's kind of what we're used to seeing in the industry, and kind of want to just kick it back to the committee and have a good discussion.
Like picking a top 3 is usually pretty typical of what we see in these kind of projects.
I was going to say 3. You don't want to get no more than that.
Yeah, I think if you're very clear on what you expect, and I do think time limits are appropriate out of fairness to each entity. So why don't we set those parameters in advance? When we recently did this in our district, and we haven't selected, but we give 20 minutes and we give them, here's some few things we'll make sure you cover. And we were able to do that, then gave them all time to respond to questions afterwards.
All right, should we, you guys want to pick your top 3? Should we start on the CM side? Are you going total score? Do you want to give any of the committee members that were not able to submit the scores in time to be an opportunity to score them? Just did want to bring that up, or if you feel comfortable with just picking your top 3 from the total scores on the screen, it's up to you all. So I will wait for discussion or end motion.
I make a motion to bring in the top 3
In each?
in each. Yes.
Second. Motion by Matt Stam, seconded by Neil Owens. Any further discussion?
I just was going to say, I think it's quite clear that the top 3, who the top 3 are, and they just distinguish themselves from the other 4 and 5 and 6. So I think that's great.
And is there, does the week of May 9th still work for everybody? If you want to have that in, I guess we don't have to have that in motion. Let's vote first, and then we'll talk about that after.
Your graduation, so I'm good.
So, I have a motion on the floor from Matt Stam, seconded by Neil, of inviting the top 3 on the CM services as well as the AE services RFP submittals, and based upon the score sheets that were submitted by noon today. All those in favor? Any more comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It passes. All right, so let's look at the dates. Is the week of May 9th still good for everybody if I send out a doodle poll? And then we'll, kind of like tonight, tonight most people, responded, and I had 9 that had confirmed they could make today. So I'll do the week of May 9th and send out a doodle poll probably tomorrow morning. So then I can contact the firms, get a date with them, and if you kind of want to tentatively block out an entire evening, because even if you do 20 minutes each or 15 minutes each, that's a long night. So if it's at 6 o'clock, we'll definitely provide a meal for you all, because I know a lot of you do have full-time day jobs and want to make sure that we're diligent with your time. So, is that good with everybody the week of May 9th?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. We will get that taken care of tomorrow. All right. Sorry, my phone's buzzing. We'll see if somebody can't hear us.
If we can avoid just the day of May 9th, that's board meeting night, and 2 of the firms are with us as well, so they have overlap. So they may be hanging out our audience too, so it'd be difficult for not only the firms, but also some of the people in the committee.
Fair saying is there might be a little joint partnership between the firms. But yeah, I know that I was at the
The
last
overnight,
meeting where 2 of them had presented
Right.
to your board as well.
There's that night most likely.
Friday the 13th sounds lucky.
Scary.
That's a chamber golf outing, so I'm not sure. Hopefully these firms are sponsors.
I'm sorry, that was a joke.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, Brent. It's been a long day. All right, we'll move on to item 7C, general discussion. An opportunity just to chit-chat about anything that you've heard from the public, anything that we need to kind of address, especially this being our first televised on YouTube and Channel 7. All right. Oh, you're going to have something. You're so close. Come on. I'm excited. You guys are going to beat the Public Power Steering Committee if we go ahead and move to item 8 if there's no comments under general discussion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Stam, seconded by Corey Gibson. All those in favor of adjourning at 6:26 p.m., say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Wonderful.
We will.
They probably
Turn off the audio.